Work harder on yourself than on your job. The secret to real success, Jordan Peterson-inspired best motivation speech, Awaken. Mindset introduction, the truth no one told. There's a quiet truth that very few people ever hear, let alone embrace. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in your career, not in your business, not even in your bank account, but in yourself. Think about it for a moment. Every morning, millions of people wake up and rush into their jobs, pouring hours of energy into tasks that, while important, often leave them feeling empty at the end of the day. They chase deadlines, work overtime, meet expectations, okay? And yet deep down, many remain restless, unfulfilled, and silently asking, is this all there is? The answer, as Jordan Peterson has said in different ways throughout his teaching, is simple but life-changing. Work harder on yourself than on your job. Because here's the reality. Your career will grow only to the extent that you grow. Your relationships will flourish only to the degree that you mature. And your happiness, your resilience, your very sense of purpose will expand only as far as your inner world allows. If you've ever felt trapped in routine, weighed down by stress, or frustrated that success seems just out of reach, then maybe it's not your job that needs fixing. Maybe it's not the world that needs to change. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to look inward. This is not about blaming yourself. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about realizing that your mind, your habits, your emotional strength are the real foundations of success. And the good news is, you can start building them today, right where you are in your own home. In your own daily life. Asterisk Part 1. Why working on yourself matters more than working on your job. Most of us were raised to believe the opposite. From childhood, the message was clear. Study hard, get a good job, climb the ladder, and one day you'll feel secure. But reality paints a different picture. People work decades sacrificing health, neglecting family, suppressing passions, only to discover they are exhausted and unfulfilled. Here's why. Your job pays you for the value you bring. But that value comes directly from who you are. If you never upgrade yourself, your opportunities shrink. If you never develop resilience, small obstacles become mountains. If you never learn self-awareness, stress and conflict become unbearable. Think of it this way. Your job is like the fruit on a tree. But your mindset, skills, habits, character, you are the roots. Without strong roots, the tree cannot thrive. That's why real success does not begin at the office. It begins at home, in the daily choices you make to sharpen your mind, strengthen your body, and cultivate your spirit. Asterisk Part 2. The inner enemies you must face before we talk about solutions. Let's be honest about the struggles. Working harder on yourself means confronting the enemies that quietly sabotage your life. Comfort zone, it whispers. You're fine as you are. Don't push yourself. Comfort keeps you small. Growth demands discomfort. Comparison, scrolling through social media, you measure your life against filtered highlights of others. Comparison steals joy and blinds you to your own progress. Fear of failure, you avoid risks. Afraid of looking foolish? Yet every success story was built on failures embraced, not avoided. Lack of discipline, you know what you should do, but procrastination, distraction, and excuses keep winning. Neglected health, poor sleep, bad diet, no exercise, you run your body down, and then wonder why energy, focus, and creativity disappear. These enemies are not out there in the world. They live inside you. And unless you confront them, no promotion, no salary, no recognition will ever bring lasting fulfillment. Asterisk Part 3. Building the foundation, practical steps at home. So how do you work harder on yourself than on your job? The secret is daily, deliberate effort. Here are key pillars. 1. Morning mindset rituals or day is shaped by its beginning. Instead of reaching for your phone, begin with silence, gratitude, or journaling. Spend 10 minutes reflecting on what matters most today. This trains your brain to lead your day rather than react to it. 2. Physical mastery, you cannot separate your body from your mind. Exercise, even 20 minutes daily, not only boosts health but also discipline. When you strengthen your body, you strengthen your willpower. 3. Skill development every evening. Dedicate 30 minutes to learning something beyond your job. Read a book, practice a new skill, or study a subject that fascinates you. Over time, you build confidence and open doors you never imagined. 4. Emotional awareness practice. Noticing your emotions without being controlled by them. If stress rises, pause and breathe. If anger hits, delay your reaction. Journaling about feelings can help you identify patterns and regain power over your responses. 5. Relationships. First, true success means little without meaningful connections. Invest time with loved ones. Listen more than you speak. Encourage rather than criticize. Growth at home fuels growth everywhere else. Part 4. The shift in perspective when you embrace this path. Something profound happens. Work stops being just a paycheck and becomes an expression of who you are. You no longer wait for the world to validate you. You validate yourself through progress, however small. Instead of asking, "What will my company do for me?" you begin to ask, "What can I become so I can bring more value to every part of life?" That shift alone sets you apart in today's world. And here's the irony. The more you work on yourself, the better you perform at your job anyway. Employers notice resilience, discipline, creativity. Leaders emerge not from titles, but from character. Part 5. A challenge for you tonight. When you return home, don't collapse into routine. Instead, ask yourself, what is one habit I can start tomorrow that will make me stronger? What is one weakness I've been avoiding that I must face? Who in my life deserves more presence, more attention, more love from me? Write these down. Act on them. Remember, growth doesn't happen in leaps. It happens in daily steps, compounded over time. Part 6. Stories of transformation. Consider John, a mid-level manager who was burned out, overweight, and constantly angry at his job. Instead of blaming his company, he decided to reclaim his mornings. He began journaling, walking, and reading 10 pages of a book every day. 6 months later, he wasn't just healthier, he was promoted because his clarity and energy were impossible to ignore. Or Sarah, who felt invisible at work and unfulfilled at home. She started by practicing gratitude each night, writing 3 things she appreciated. Within weeks, her perspective shifted. She became more positive, her relationships deepened, and new career opportunities opened. These aren't miracles. They are results of working harder on yourself than on your job. Part 7. The lifelong journey. Understand this. Self-development is not a project with a deadline. It is a lifelong commitment. You will never arrive, but that's the beauty of it. You are always becoming, always discovering, always capable of more. Working on yourself is the one effort that compounds forever. Jobs may come and go, money may rise and fall, but the person you become is yours to keep. Conclusion: awaken your mindsets. So here's the truth. If you want real success, stop obsessing over promotions or waiting for perfect opportunities. Instead, pour your energy into becoming the strongest, wisest, most resilient version of yourself. Because when you grow, everything around you grows. Your career improves. Your relationships deepen. Your life expands. The secret to success is not out there. It's in here within you. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to continue the journey with us. Awaken Mindset is a community dedicated to helping people like you discover strength, wisdom, and purpose from within. Together, we explore powerful lessons, share practical strategies, and create the kind of mindset that transforms not only careers but entire lives. So, if you're ready to rise above routine, embrace growth, and awaken the best version of yourself, support our channel, Awaken Mindset. Subscribe, share, and let's build a community of people who refuse to settle for less than their true potential. Remember, work harder on yourself than on your job, because when you change yourself, you change everything.